عنوان یک تحلیلگر چرا باید اینقدر روایت‌های متفاوتی از شما در رسانه‌های فارسی وجود داشته باشه؟ چرا فکر می‌کنید که اینقدر نام کاترین شکدم جنجالی شده؟ علتش چیه؟ به عنوان یک تحلیلگر علتش رو چی می‌دونید؟
Anti-Semitism. Because I'm a woman and I'm a Jew, and they don't like it in Iran, and so they had to make stories about me to make themselves feel better at night. Simple. That's what I believe. And if my name is problematic, then it is. But, it's not of my own making. Iran did that. Honestly, they created the story.
Honestly, it's not. It's not because you're a woman or because you're Jewish. Honestly,
I think it is.
It's because you become very close to power circle of Iran. It's because of
and
it's amazing how you could be close like this.
I think that people are I don't think I was that close. I think I was lucky in a way to just be allowed around certain people and witness certain things. But I wasn't, it's not like I didn't have tea and coffee with Ayatollah Khamenei, let's be honest. So it's not like, close to what?
Power circle. Mr. Javani, General Javani.
I've learned something in Yemen. You could meet people, very powerful people. Back in Yemen, I knew the president family. Ali Abdullah Saleh, met him, knew him, knew members of his family who were in power.
I told you you're very important, girl.
No, I'm not important. I just, things happen, things happen. And I happen to be good at what I do. So people want to listen to what I have to say, okay? Now, it's not because you know people or you have access to certain people that it makes you influential. There's a huge difference. You could know someone and shake their hands, but do they listen to you? Do they value your input? Would they ask you before they make a decision? Could you change their mind? That is influence. I don't have that power. And I never claimed that I did. All I said is that I traveled to Iran. I've seen for myself things that very few people in my position as a Westerner and as a Jew ever had access to. And that I felt that my perspective, my story mattered because I had a lived-in experience of Iran, regime. And it is something that not many people had access to or ever experienced in their life. And that I felt it was my duty as an analyst to relay those information to the public, to hopefully bridge the gap in between Iran and the rest of the world, and hopefully stop, Iranians, looking onto, the Jewish community and think that the Jewish community is the enemy, and vice versa. Those were my goals. Because it always very much shocked me to see the rampant anti-Semitism that runs through Iran, and the way that, every time a state official will come and say something about anything, they will say death to Israel, death to the Jews. That needs to end. So my desire, my decision to write in the Times of Israel was to shock people into realizing that you cannot continue to hold to that narrative, because when I was in Iran and you did not know that I was Jewish, you liked me, you were my friend, you talked to me, you valued my opinion. And now that I am writing for the Times of Israel, now that I'm openly, owning my Jewish identity, you do not want to know me, and I've become suddenly a spy. I've become, I'm blackmailing the government. I'm doing all those things that are not true, that they know are not true, because they're trying to shame me for the thing that they can't forgive, and it has to do with my Jewish identity. And there's nothing you could do or say that will change my mind. I know that because I'm a woman and because I'm a Jew. People decided to slap those labels onto me and to continue this narrative of hatred, because it's so easy to hate Israel and hate all the Jews, because apparently we're responsible for everything that is bad.
Kاترین, a lot of Jews living in Iran.
And a lot of Jews run away from Iran for very serious reasons. It's like, listen, your government, and I'm not saying you personally, your government in Iran has this slogan, death to Israel, death to the Jews. That, as long as that stands, how do you expect
excuse me, it's not about Jews. As I know, I'm not inside of government. I'm completely independent. It's not about Jewish. It's about Israel. Yes, I hear this. It's about Israel, not about Jewish.
Then maybe they should stop to say death to the Jews.
How you know this is about Jewish? Where you read this?
I didn't read it. I heard it when I had this conference on Palestine. That's the first thing that they said.
I grow in Iran, and I haven't heard that they said that down with Jewish. Yes, I hear it for many times. They said down with Israel. Yes, but they didn't say about Jewish. A lot of Jews living in Iran.
Okay.
How you detect this?
Because people have told me many times. I have heard it from the mouth of officials.
Who? Where?
Officials, the name of officials. I'm not going to say who, but many officials have said those things. Clerics, ayatollahs, people in powered position have said those things to me.
That's amazing. You're an analyst. Just you listen to one people or two people, or I don't know, 3 or 10 people told you that this is they said Iran said down with Jewish, but you didn't see that in the public what is the people's opinion.
I'm not. I make a difference in between public opinion and government officials. What I'm saying is that when state officials and religious authorities are peddling an anti-Semitic narrative, I can't abide by this, and I'm convinced that a lot of the criticism leveled at me comes from that.
But
I'm not talking about the Iranians. The Iranians, I don't know what they think, and I haven't spoken to every Iranian in Iran, so I will not put words in their mouth. I'm saying the government.
Until this age, I haven't heard that government said don't be Jewish.
Okay.
I don't know how you hear it and from where.
I heard it. I heard it from them. But it's fine. It's just like for me, it's an issue because you cannot go around and call for the annihilation of an entire people. Nazi Germany done that.
Of course, they have a lot of limitation. They have a lot of limitation as a Jewish, but they don't have the freedom like a Muslim and Shia. Let's come back to our question. Okay. شما شیعه شدید، یعنی مسلمان که شدید شیعه هم شدید؟
Look, when I converted to Islam, I didn't even know that you had Sunni and Shia. I was under the impression that you had one book and that Islam was one. And then I met Muslims. And then I realized that you had Sunni and Shia and Zaydis and Alawites and Ismailis and all the different things. I find it very confusing because I was told that you had one prophet, one message, and then I found that one message turned into a million interpretation. Same thing for Sunni Islam, by the way. You have the Wahhabis and the Salafis and whatever. So at the beginning I was again under the impression that there was one Islam and that you should practice whatever what the Quran says. Basically, I thought that was the main source. And I found out that apparently clerics have, different opinions about that, and that they decide to kind of make it as long as they go. Like I said, I read quite a fair bit, and I just decided that I didn't like what I was hearing from Sunni clerics because it was a bit disturbing. And I thought that Shia Islam was a lot better, and I felt that it was more cohesive. Again, I like the values. I like the idea of, standing for the oppressed of the world and defending human rights and exercises compassion, things like that.
Just excuse me, Kاترین, I'm interrupting you. Just I want to know that you become Shia or not?
Yes. Yeah, of course I did.
You say like Ashhadu anna Aliyan Waliullah?
I know I did. No, I didn't. I was already Muslim, and I just look. I didn't have a very traditional journey,
but you use a very traditional dress, hijab.
I was in Iran. When I was in Iran, when I was here, I was wearing a normal hijab and skinny jeans.
Honestly, we don't have this hijab. It's not a popular hijab.
Well, again, I told you, I explained to you why I was wearing it. I was asked to wear it. So
okay,
are you going to? Do you argue with people as a guest? Do you argue with your host? No. I was polite.
Okay, so you become Shia, yes?
Became Shia, yeah, but I didn't. There was no particular thing that I said or anything. I just I just identified as a Shia, and that was it.
در مصاحبه‌ای که با آقای رئیسی داشتید، آقای طالبزاده مدعی شده که کلمه به کلمه سوال‌های شما با آقای طالبزاده چک شده. آیا تایید می‌کنید؟
The questions, yes. Well, hold on. Not just by him. It was a coordination effort with RT. When I went to do the interview with Mr. Raisi, I wasn't asked to. I wasn't there to ask my questions. So it wasn't about me. I was just a medium for RT and to act on the behalf of RT. I wasn't there to have an opinion. So I was just there to be a mouthpiece and ask the questions. That was it. And they were not my questions. RT discussed with President Raisi's office in terms of what question they were allowed to ask. And that was it. So I wasn't made aware of the process whatsoever. I was giving a set of questions and they say, ask that. So I was a journalist that day. I wasn't an analyst, I was a journalist. And my job was to ask the question written on the piece of paper for him to answer in Farsi. And I was there to smile because I had no idea what he was saying. And then RT did the little montage and the subtitles. That was it.
So you just you was a narrator. Oh, you have a cat.
I have
Hello.
3.
Okay. Okay. Just you was a narrator in that interview.
Yes.
Just you narrate. So why, if they knew the narrator, why they send you?
Good question. I mean, this is my understanding of it.
Because you told me that you are not a journalist.
I know I'm not a journalist, but I was at the time working as an analyst for RT. An editor friend called me asking me if I would be able to go to Iran, within a day notice. I told her that I could because I had a French passport, and so I only needed to have a visa at the airport, and that was essentially it. It's because I had easy access.
Excuse me, if they needed just narrator, why they send an analyst? Why they didn't send a journalist?
You need to ask them that. You need to ask them because they asked me, they paid me, and I was like, okay.
How much they paid? You can.
I think it was about £2,000, and I had to buy my own ticket.
It was good?
No, but you tell me how often you could potentially sit across the next Iranian president.
Okay, I agree. در تایمز مدعی شدید که یک نفر به شما میگه که آقای رئیسی این بار در انتخابات شکست میخوره و در انتخابات بعدی پیروز میشه چون نماینده حاکمیته. چرا نماینده حاکمیت در دور اول پیروز نشد؟
I was talking about the elections that he ran, against President Rouhani. Yes. I said in my article at the Times of Israel that at the time I was told that he would not win this election because usually Iran has a tradition where a president is often re-elected twice. And so that President Rouhani was very likely to be elected president again. And that because Mr. Raisi at the time was not well known in terms of that his ambition to become president. He didn't have enough clout, to win those elections. But that nevertheless, his career had been looked after and architected by, the regime in Iran, and that he was earmarked to become the next, supreme leader. That's what I was told.
Still, you want to protect the name, yes?
Oh, who told me this?
Yes.
Oh, it was Nader who told me that. This is not a state secret. It was Nader Talibzadeh. We had a conversation and he explained to me how Iran worked.
شما توی تایمز گفتید که ابراهیم رئیسی مرد جاه طلبی هست و فکر میکنید که این جاه طلبی تا کجا ادامه پیدا میکنه؟ فکر میکنید که الان ابراهیم رئیسی به منتها، یعنی به انتهای جاه طلبیش رسیده، یعنی ریاست جمهوری رو انتهای جاه طلبی ابراهیم رئیسی میدونی؟
No, I don't believe that I say he was a power grabber. What I said is that prior to him becoming president of Iran, he was already running Mashhad, and that gave him enormous power within Iran, because essentially he had, under his authority billions of dollars worth of assets. And, essentially what is the, one of the holiest city in Islam. And that's not nothing. So that gave him an enormous clout, and that his ambition extended to the office of the presidency. And then maybe beyond that of supreme leader. I never said he was like greedy for power, but obviously if you're running for president, you have certain ambitions. It's not necessarily negative. But yeah, he is someone who's quite determined to reach, the utmost highest position in the state, quite clearly.
این صندلی ریاست جمهوری رو انتهای جاه طلبی ابراهیم رئیسی میدونن یا فکر میکنن که ابراهیم رئیسی دنبال مقام‌های بالاتری هست؟
Oh, he's after a higher position. It's in my opinion, I might be wrong, but I do believe that he wants to be the next supreme leader.
You think
it's tricky because you have other competing powers in Iran. I mean, certain family members of Ayatollah Khamenei might not allow it to happen. I don't know. But whether he could, I think everything is possible. He could. Whether that's going to happen, it's complicated. So it's not as simple as, wishing something to happen for it to happen. He's president, which is good enough, I think. But yeah, I believe that, he has those ambitions. Whether they can manifest, I don't know.
It will be great in your CV that you had an interview with
that would be something else.
Iran Supreme Leader, yeah?
It would.
What is your understanding of that when you had the interview with him? Do you think he has this ability?
Well, I definitely believe that he could be president, yes.
No, for Supreme Leader.
Do you know, here's what I think. To have people, personalities such as that, as, Ayatollah Khomeini and Ayatollah Khamenei, those men don't come by very often. I mean, we're talking history here. We're talking, the kind of figures that we would talk about in 100 years, 200 years, 300 years. People that have so profoundly marked history, that they cannot not be talked about. Now it takes a lot. You need to have charisma. You need to have a vision. There's a lot of qualities, that someone need to have in order to be able to carry these kind of responsibilities. Whether you agree or not with them, they don't come often. I sincerely, and this is my opinion, do not believe that the Islamic Republic, as it is today, within the structure that, it has, can survive Ayatollah Khamenei. That is my opinion. If he was to pass away tomorrow, I think you would be very hard pressed as a country to find someone who can fill his shoes and maintain the cohesion of the Islamic Republic as it is today. It is my understanding, and this is just me, that if he was, to pass away, the Islamic Republic would dissolve because it would not be able to maintain itself. You need to have a certain kind of authority, charisma, understanding of history, belief system. And I think that we kind of coming to an end with that. I may be wrong. This is what I believe. So, whether technically, President Raisi could become the supreme leader, maybe. Would he be able to maintain, the kind of loyalty that is required and the kind of expertise that you need to be able to carry an entire country, on your shoulders? I'm not sure.
فکر می‌کنید افرادی هستن که ابراهیم رئیسی رو برای رهبری آینده جمهوری اسلامی آماده می‌کنن؟
Yes, I do, because I was told. So yes.
همونطور که می‌دونید دیشب سپاه یک مقر موساد رو به گفته خودشون در عراق هدف حملات موشکی قرار داد. میدونید اونجا چند نفر کشته شدن؟
I did not. I don't know about that at all. So I can't comment. I don't know.
این یک خبره که به شما میدم. دیشب یک مقر موساد و یک پایگاه موساد به گفته سپاه پاسداران هدف در واقع موشک‌های سپاه قرار گرفت و سپاه رسما مسئولیت این رو به عهده گرفت و این خبر منتشر شد. با توجه به اینکه شما آمار تلفات نیروهای امریکایی در پایگاه عین الاسد رو اعلام کردید، میخوام بدونم که آیا خبر دارید که چند نفر در این حملات اخیر سپاه به در واقع کردستان عراق و مقر موساد کشته شدن یا آمار زخمیاشون چقدر هست؟
No, I don't have any information. Sorry. That might be disappointing to you, but no, I don't have any info.
So we can say that your resource in Iran forget about you?
Maybe.
Because they didn't give you information because you had information about Ain al-Assad. You know?
Then maybe, yeah, maybe. You know, maybe what you say is true. Maybe it's, you know, I don't.
Maybe you're in your home and it's not your interesting, or it's not in your work during time. Yes.
Exactly. It was after hours, so no information.
It was out of your interest. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want, you can take the information.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
No, if you want, you can have a contact with your resource in Iran.
In Iran? No, I mean, I don't know why you look. It's not because you have access to one piece of information. Things change every day. You know, people maybe you were talking to yesterday will not be talking to you today.
چطور پس اطلاعات حملات سپاه به پایگاه عین الاسد رو داشتید؟
What do you mean?
شما خبری رو منتشر کردید راجع به تعداد کشته‌های پایگاه عین الاسد که 100 امریکایی در اون کشته شدن، درسته؟ Confirm?
Yes.
Okay.
That's the I received.
و صدا و سیمای جمهوری اسلامی ایران به نقل از کاترین شکدم میاد و این خبر 100 نفر رو منتشر میکنه.
Who referred to my name?
Islamic Republic of Iran Broadcasting mentioned you and
they use me as their source of information?
Yes, resource.
Okay. If that's what they want, I mean, okay. If they want to quote me and, use me as a source of information, that's fine.
Okay.
I published my article in Citizen Truth. I never spoke to them.
Okay. Do you tell me that who was your resource?
It wasn't in Iran, I can tell you that much.
You cannot tell me?
No, I can tell you that it wasn't someone in Iran.
He was a military man?
He was what?
He was a military man? Or politician?
No.
He was working government?
Yes.
Okay. He was working the foreign minister or?
It was an Iranian.
Give me some more information. Okay, protect of your resource, but give me some more information. It wasn't from General Javani?
No.
Because
why is this man constant? Like, why is it that my name is constantly thrown next to this man? It's insane.
I don't know. You can tell me more.
I'm not. We're not best friends. I'm sorry, but I don't. It's insane. He's the head of the Republican Guard, isn't he?
You was in touch with Mr. Javani, General Javani? You talked to him?
No.
To meet him?
I met him. I was in the same room as him. There's a difference. Okay.
It was in which place? It was in which event?
It was during the conference on Palestine.
Oh, okay.
There were many people.
Okay. And you
President Rouhani was there. Did I speak to him? Did you reveal secrets?
Okay.
No.
Okay. And you didn't spoke what General Javani?
No.
Never?
No, as in like beyond hello, no.
Even with one hello or salam?
Hello, salam. That was
Can you say something Farsi? Can you say something Persian? Salam.
I know. No, I can say kheli mamnoon. That's it.
And more?
Babakhshi.
Babakhshi. Chatori?
That's it.
Can you talk a bit Farsi with me? Salam.
I don't speak Farsi. Like you try. I don't.
I know. Just I want to know how many words you learn in this time.
That's it. Those are the words I know. Kheli mamnoon and babakhshi. That's it.
That's it.
Salam, you say salam alaikum in Yemen. I speak a little bit of Arabic. Like salam is not exactly a big deal. And I know that you say you actually use French words in Iran to say thank you, because you also say merci. So there you go. Speaks French. So I can speak French. I speak French and English fluently. That's the extent. I can speak a little bit of Arabic, because obviously, because of my former in-laws. But I don't speak a word of Farsi. Nor do I understand it.
بنابراین شما هر گونه رابطه‌ای رو با سردار جوانی معاون سیاسی سپاه تکذیب می‌کنید.
100%. I don't have his email, I don't have his phone number, and we don't chit chat. So I'm sorry if that's disappointing to many people, but no. Don't have any links to that person.
Even Instagram?
Instagram. No, I'm sorry. Not Instagram, not WeChat, not Facebook, not Twitter, not nothing.
Maybe with a safe line. No?
That would be a fun story. No.
این به خاطر اینکه یه سری اخباری منتشر شده که شما اخباری منتشر شده در بعضی از کانال‌ها که شما روابط جنسی داشتین. عذرخواهی می‌کنم این سوالو می‌پرسم. شما روابط جنسی داشتین با برخی از مقامات جمهوری اسلامی.
Slander. That's all I have to say about this. Lies and slander. No.
Okay. و برخی این ادعا رو می‌کنن که شما این فیلم ها رو نگه داشتید برای اینکه بتونید بعداً ازش استفاده بکنید و مقامات جمهوری اسلامی رو بتونید در واقع کنترل بکنید یا اونها به اون چیزی که در واقع سرویس های امنیتی میخوان گوش کنن. یعنی اون فیلم ها مدارک و مستنداتی هستن که شما جمع کردید. من عذر میخوام اگه این سوال مقداری ممکنه برای شما توهین آمیز باشه.
Yeah, and you're telling me that the fact that I'm a woman has nothing to do with it. When you were telling me that, me being a woman has nothing to do with it, and those stories come out, please. It's insulting, it's degrading, it's beneath anyone, and it's a hard no. Do you know the simple fact that people would made up such lies and actually just, to target women in such a way and attack their character without proof is slander. It's the most despicable thing that you could do as a person, and it shows that you have zero integrity and you're not even worthy of being called a human being, in my book. But go ahead, people will believe whatever they want to believe, but it's just degrading, insulting, pathetic. Come up with something else.
به نظر شما نوشتید که مدعی شدید که مردم ایران هرگز دخالت خارجی رو در امور داخل ایران تحمل نمی‌کنن، در حالی که خودتون توی تایمز نوشتید که زندانیان سیاسی در ایران ذهن سکولار دارن. آیا فکر نمی‌کنید که این ذهنیت به مردم عادی هم منتقل شده و اونها در شرایط فعلی توی این شرایط وضعیت اقتصادی دیگه حمایت قبلی رو از جمهوری اسلامی ندارن؟ چه فکر می‌کنید شما؟
Well, that's what I was talking about. I've met with Iranians, and I discovered that many held secular views, and that the one thing that kind of ran across the country was that nobody wanted foreign nations to come and meddle within their affairs, which is fair enough. I think that the Iranian people are perfectly capable of running their own affairs, and that they do not need anyone to come in and tell them what to do. I think that as a people, they're quite proud, which so should they, and they want to, architect their own future, which is fair enough. And I think that every nation should have that opportunity. Now, I think that, look, our world is changing every day, and secularism is gaining ground. It's the reality. And I think that Iran, like any other country, is following that trend. And a lot of people do not feel that they want to be, run by, religious clerics, and that there's no room for that kind of thinking anymore. They want to move in with the time, and they want to, be a bit more sophisticated about how they do things. And the fact that, Iran is basically enemy number one across the world and is suffering, crippling sanctions is not helping. People will be people. People want to live freely in dignity, and they want to build a future, for their family. And being in Iran is not an easy thing. You don't have access, you're cut out from the rest of the world. You cannot get a visa. You cannot do anything. So it's difficult.
اوکی. نخستین رسانه‌ای که مطالب شما رو در تایمز منتشر کرد یک رسانه‌ای بود که وابسته به تفکر محمود احمدی نژاد بود. آیا شما با جریان محمود احمدی نژاد رابطه‌ای دارید؟ نظر شما راجع به در واقع ایشون چی هست و فعالیتایی که ایشون میکنه؟
What do I think of him? I'm going to try to be polite here. Not much. Because he's, his people, his supporters, whatever you want to call them, they're the one who came up with the, the spying allegation, the allegations of, multiple marriages and the videos allegation and all those allegations. They basically lie. So they make up stuff. They repeat it long enough so that people, buy them. It's basically gossip. Gossip and slander. So this is what I think of him. I don't think that if he was an honorable man, he would be discussing, he would be arguing people on the basis of their idea. All his people are doing is basically running a gossip magazine.
Excuse me, it's about Mahmoud Ahmadinejad or his colleague?
Well, I guess that he's a reflection. I mean, you are who you hang out with. So, if those are his supporters, I'm imagining that, he's somewhat a reflection of those values. If that's okay with him, if it's okay for him, to be running on, by slandering other people, including women, and he thinks that it's okay, well, I have an issue with that because I don't think he's very honorable. Now, do I know him? No, I do not know him. Did I think he was a great state official? Never. I don't think he doesn't have the charisma that, for example, President Rouhani had. I think they're very different people. I don't have much time for him, to be honest with you, because I don't think he was great at what he was doing.
But he has a lot of followers.
So what? Doesn't mean that look, having many followers has no reflection upon the quality of your character.
A lot of people
it means that you have, well, that's great for them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
You don't like him?
Not particularly, no.
Okay, it means that you hate him?
No, it doesn't. I don't have time. No. Okay. hate would involve that, for me to actually care.
محمود احمدی نژاد ادعا کرد که برادر همسر آیت الله خامنه‌ای آقای حسن خجسته به اسرائیل سفر کرده. شما این توییت رو دیدید؟ این مطلب رو شنیدید؟ آیا نظری دارید راجع به این موضوع؟
No.
فکر میکنید که میتونن افراد نزدیک به آیت الله خامنه‌ای به اسرائیل سفر بکنن؟
Controlled. Control Israel? No. I don't know about traveling, but are they in communication with the Israelis? Absolutely. It's the worst, kept secret in the world. Like the Israeli nuclear programs. Of course. It's a game of politics. Of course they talk to each other.
این میتونه واقعیت باشه؟
It's common knowledge. You don't need me to tell you. Anyone else would tell you.
شما چی فکر می‌کنید؟
Well, they're speaking to each other for the same reason the Saudi for decades have been speaking to the Israelis and vice versa. The Egyptians speak to the Israelis, the Jordanians speak to the Israelis, the Iraqis, the Yemenis, everybody speaks to everybody. You have to.
در جریان سفر شما به ایران شما یک پروژه تحقیقاتی داشتید یا؟
No, investigating. No. I wasn't investigating what? No, I wasn't investigating anything.
آیا قراره که شما کتابی بنویسید راجع به خاطراتتون در ایران؟
100%.
آیا قراره که اسنادی رو هم در کتابتون منتشر بکنید که تا حالا راجبش صحبت نکردید؟
Yes, that would be a yes. That's a I have many things I still have to say, and yes, they will be in the book.
Could you please, with kindness, tell me one of that document in this interview?
What do you mean?
One of that document you want to publish on your book, your future books.
Do you want me to send you documents?
One of them.
It's not about documents. You know, it's you will have to read the book, but it will be interesting.
Oh, you don't want to give me earlier?
No, you're gonna have to read the book, because that I'm making that you know I intend to make money with. So people will have to pay.
I have to pay for it.
I have to buy the book. You're gonna
so
have
you cannot gift me one of your books, yes?
No.
I'm important.
I could. Depends. You know, I'm maybe.
Be good, be kind.
Maybe I'll be kind and send you a copy. But yeah, the book is coming.
در مصاحبه‌ای که با آقای رئیسی داشتید آیا به شما نهار دادن؟
No, not during the interview. But we flew back to Tehran in President Raisi's plane. So yes, I was offered a meal in the plane.
Did you have a lunch with President?
No. I didn't have lunch with the president.
He didn't ask you that you had a lunch or not?
No.
Because usually he asks.
He didn't.
Did you have a lunch or not?
No, he didn't. But he kindly offered me a ride back to Tehran on his plane, so I think that's even better than lunch.
You was in same plane as Raisi. Okay, and in that plane, I think maybe he said to some people, said, okay, give him a good lunch.
Well, they give us lunch, yes, and it was the, you know.
Okay, thank you very much for your time.
You're very welcome.
Did you like this interview?
It's honest. Look, I'm not shying away. All I'm asking is that for people to not put words in my mouth and not distort what I'm saying. I think you were very direct and I believe honest. So inspired by me.
Okay.
You know, people don't have to like me. All I'm asking is, you know, professional courtesy. That's it.
Thank you very much. You have a time if you want to say anything or if you want to add anything, you can. You have this time.
I will. Thank you so much. You have a great day. And thank you for translating. I appreciate it.
Thank you.